Good morning and welcome to the weekly news bulletin of the South African Radio League, read by ZS6 Dr. X-Ray. The South African Radio League broadcasts a news bulletin each Sunday in Afrikaans and in English at 8:15 and 8:30 Central African Time. It is expected on HFUs, HF and UHF nodes around the country. The bulletin is relayed on Echolink All-Star node, and the audio bulletins can be downloaded from the New Israel website. Now you're listening to this club station of the Sandton Amateur Radio Club, which is operated today from the shack of ZS6STN. This club bulletin is broadcast every Sunday at 8:45 local time on the following frequencies: 145 700 megahertz, the 2-meter band, and 7.115 megahertz on the 40-meter band. Today as well from my shack, ZS6TX. This is the bulletin for today. Club birthdays, club news, general ham radio news, special topic of interest. Very short today, unfortunately, but there's something here that I have. Corners and swap shop, 40 meters, 2 meters. So I think without ado, let's start with some club birthdays of club members. And the birthdays for this week is ZR6LC Lee Chapman. His birthday is on the 16th of September. That's the only birthday that I have on the list for this week, or this coming week. And we wish Lee a very, very happy birthday and many, many, many more to come. Okay, let's move on to club news. Let's see if there's anyone else available for club news. There is a few things on the news bulletin that I see on the news bulletin this morning. That's in the news bulletin that we can read as well. So maybe Keith or someone is out there that can give us a little bit of update, or anyone else out there in update. This is, we'll go 2 meters. So this is ZS6STN standing by.
ZS6 Hotel India.
Okay, Keith, good morning. I trust you're well this morning, and thanks for calling in. So please take a run. ZS6 Hotel India from ZS6STN.
Thank you, Sal. Thank you, Noel. So just to let everybody know that per the bulletin that you may have, the Baycar balloon flight is taking place on the 10th of October. That is obviously weather dependent, but if all goes to plan and the winds are blowing in the correct direction, the Baycar weather balloon will take flight on the 10th of October. And I'm expecting probably a Pico balloon would be launched at the same time. And for those who don't know, there are so many Pico balloons being launched by South Africa at the moment. The Eden Club, the individuals like Tom, and the Secunda Club are regularly launching a Pico balloon, and some of these have circumnavigated the Earth 3 times already, which is absolutely phenomenal. And it's fun to watch one Pico balloon catching up another one because it's in a different jet stream or something like that. They're on Whisper. Some of them are on 10 meters and some of them are on 20 meters. So there is a Pico balloon group if you are interested in considering or wanting to launch your own Pico balloon and learning a little bit about what these guys are doing on the Pico balloons. It's a lot of fun. And just going back to Baycar, that takes place from Secunda. The launch is at the Trichard radio control flying field, and it's worth going out there if you're interested in the weather balloon and seeing what happens and all the tracking that goes on behind the scenes. And as mentioned in the bulletin, there will be a crossband or several crossband repeaters on the balloon so that you can make contacts with them as if you were talking to a satellite. You can talk to a satellite via a repeater. Well, you can talk to the balloon via the balloon's repeater and have conversations or QSOs via the balloon with other amateurs around the country. There will also be APRS per normal, LoRa beacons per normal. There will be SSTV, VHF and UHF. There will be, I know that Nathan is flying a payload as well from our club, and we are flying the UHF SSTV payload. And there's a competition on that SSTV payload for those that manage to decode the clues in the pictures that they will receive. So that'll be a lot of fun on the 10th of October, and I think there probably will be a Baycar group put together for that so that you can publish your pictures and have conversations and on the Baycar group. Otherwise, get out to Secunda and go and see the launch and the flight. It's quite a fun day, and then most people come home late afternoon on the Saturday once all the fun is over and once the braai is all over. Then on the 24th, I think that's this month, on the 24th of September, there won't be a power hour tech talk as per the bulletin. That's a Wednesday evening, because we're holding the Sandton Amateur Radio Club annual general meeting, and that will be at our club venue, 11 Kildoon Road in Bryanston. I repeat, 11 Kildoon Road in Bryanston. Those who have never been to the club venue, come through, and the club will be open from around 5:30, and the AGM will start at 6:15 in the evening. It will be a hybrid AGM for those that cannot get through to the club itself. Then they can join us on a Zoom for that evening. Publications have been sent to everyone for the AGM, the notice of the AGM. So if you have not received yours, then there's some mix-up in our database. So Noel has put together a very nice access database for us, and we are maintaining that, and it generates the birthday list for us. It generates a lot of different things for us to use for the club, and the AGM notice was sent out via this application, and if you have not received yours, please do let us know, and we can correct that. So I think those are the main events. I'm hoping that the results from the field day will come out next weekend. So everyone had up till Friday this week this last week to submit their results, and I know that the contest team. The evaluation team is now evaluating all the results of the field day submissions, and we hope that we've done enough to take the trophy, but time will tell. We certainly had a bumper weekend out there, and you've probably heard me on air on 40 meters last weekend, but it was an awesome field day. The wind was blowing quite a bit, so the gazebos were shaking and flapping, and occasionally had to try and protect the microphone from the wind, but we've managed to achieve a record number of contacts for ZS6STN, and I'd like to say a very big thank you to all those involved. And I know Brandon actually spent a lot of his own money to buy poles and antennas, and I know that Matthew also put up a antenna, the 8160 meter dipole antenna for us, and then Justin was actively helping to coordinate with Mark, actually, all the logging mechanisms that we had. I probably can't say too much more, but wait for the results and let's see if it all managed to succeed. And yesterday was the FT4 Africa DX competition, which was quite a lot of fun, and so not sure if there's anything now today, but you do read the bulletin and you'll see they're also looking for VHF, UHF operators, and for helping to change the rules for the Blue Book for 2026, and that goes to the QRP contest as well, which we are the administrators of, and I think the next one is on the 20th of October, and we have to set the rules for 2026. No, I think that's all the top of my agenda at the moment, is ZS6STN, as ZS6HI.
Yeah, ZS6HI, ZS6STN, returning, of course. Okay, Keith, all fantastic things that the Sandton Amateur Radio Club is doing, and just a little bit of an update. I did update the Sandton Amateur Radio Club database, and made it a little bit more foolproof, and so there's fallback errors and things like that, sending out mails and everything like that, so I must get hold of you and give you the updated version. But yeah, we need to split the database, and it's easy to just update without affecting any data that you have. But anyway, there we go. No problem there at all. And so let's move on to the main news bulletin this morning. So in the news today, that 2026 SL National Convention, Century, Barkov Flight, and SOL represented at international discussions on amateur radio. Stay tuned for more information on these and other interesting news items. The National Amateur Radio League AGM, NRL AGM, that's what it sounds like. The South African, it should have been the South 2025 AGM of Namibian Amateur Radio League will be held at 10 o'clock on Saturday, the 20th of September at the Setcom boardroom in Windhoek. The President and members of the SRL wish our friends of the Namibian Amateur Radio League all the best for the AGM. The 2026 SRL National Convention. The Port Elizabeth Amateur Radio Society will be the host of the 2026 SRL National Convention over the weekend of the 1st to 3rd of May 2026. It's busy with arrangements at the Willow Resort Conference Centre just south of Port Elizabeth. You can look at that, just the Willow is pe.co.za. So the Willow SPE.co.za. There's accommodation, chalets, cottages, rondavels, bungalows, as well as a caravan and camping site. The conference centre will be used for the AGM and an awards dinner. The nomination forms for the various SRL awards are available from the SRL website, as well as forms for submitting motions or a point of discussions. You can go to the mysrl.org.za website and just go look under SRL-AGM. It should be there. The closing date for award nomination motions and point discussions is midnight Saturday, the 31st of January 2026, and must only be sent to the secretary at sarl.org.za. The centenary bar car flight. Do you know that it's almost October, and what this means is that you'd better get ready for the centenary bar car flight. For those who do not know anything about bar car, this is the shortened term for balloon carrying amateur radio, and the Secunda Amateur Radio Club. The bar car and Pico Balloons Gurus will be launching the next weather balloon bar car flight at around 7 a.m. Central African time on 10th of October, weather permitting. These flights contain multiple 10cm by 10cm CubeSat style payloads coupled together in a long string hanging down below the balloon. All amateurs and clubs are invited to include their payloads in the flight. The balloon is likely to get deep into the stratosphere and fly at a height of around 30 kilometers with a flight time of between 2 and 3 hours if all goes to plan. We have it in a good authority that once again there will be several crossband repeats on board for making QSOs across the country by the bar car balloon. Several cameras taking pictures of the curvature of the Earth, a VHF SSTV transmitter, LoRa and APRS transmitters, and perhaps even a whisper beacon. The Sandton Amateur Radio Club will be represented by two payloads this year. One which is being built by Nathan, ZS6 Bravo November, and the second will be the UHF SSTV transmitter built by Keep ZS6HI. But that is not all. In certain of the UHF SSTV images there will be embedded clues, and besides the pleasure of successfully decoding the transmitted images, the first person to identify the answer of the embedded clues will also receive a take-a-look gift voucher as an added incentive. For those that do not know how to receive SSTV images, do yourself a favor and do a bit of Googling and preparation. take up the challenge. Israel was represented at WRC NPWG technical meetings. The Department of Communication and Digital Technology hosted the second World Radio Communication National Preparatory Work Group meeting at the CSI conference on Friday the 12th of September to review reports from all South African WRC 27 agenda item reporteers. The meeting was arranged to provide feedback to the department and interested parties. The South African radio was represented by Brian Jacobs, the ZS6STN, Yankee Zulu, and James Archibald, the ZS6 November Sierra. Due to time constraints, not all reporters were able to make their representations. They represented at a virtual Teams meeting on Wednesday, the 10th of September. As stated in the Israel Spectrum and Technology Work Group, WRC 27, Position Paper version 3, it is recommended monitoring of the SANP WRC 27 continues so that the league can ensure that there is no frequency allocation scope creep before CPM2 will be held in early 2027. Having members of the Israel attending the SANPWG meeting bodes well for the league, as networking with other organizations is important. The follow-up meeting was attended by James Archibald and Hans van Groenendaal. Brian Jacobs was attending to Hamnet Matters. The meeting was well attended by industry. James Archibald reported to Israel News from his observation that there is still nothing serious for the Israel to be concerned about regarding the WRC 27 agenda having an influence on amateur radio services. He said that the last version of the Israel WR27 position paper, version 3, still stands. Until the end of 2025, WRC 27 working parties will be holding meetings on the agenda items. Therefore, it is envisaged that any changes to the agenda items will only be seen at the next SANPWG session, which is planned for the first quarter of 2026. You are listening to the news bulletin of the South African Radio League. Today broadcast by on the Sandton Amateur Radio Club, broadcast by the ZS6STN, operated by ZS6STN. Okay, next item on the news, the Israel membership fees. The Israel thanks all the members who have renewed their membership. If you have not yet renewed your membership, visit the My Israel website membership rates to get the Israel bank details and the amount you need to pay. Please use your call sign as a reference when doing the EFT. You have until Friday, the 31st of October 2025 to pay your membership fees. The October RAE. The RAE team has informed the news that 95 candidates were registered for the October RAE to be written on Saturday, 10th of October. AMSAT SA to attend the AMSAT DL Future Geo Hybrid Workshop on the 19th September 2025. Any reader, ZS6 Alpha Lima November, and Hans van Groenendaal, ZS6 AKV, will be attending the workshop virtually. AMSAT SDL, in conjunction with the European Space Agency, ESA, invited AMSAT organizations to participate in their future geo initiatives. AMSAT SA was amongst 15 AMSAT organizations which submitted proposals. AMSAT SA recommended that an uplink on the 4.7 GHz be considered in addition to the current Oscar 100 frequencies to increase availability of bandwidth. The proposal also includes an innovative system that will operate on a similar basis as Echolink, but on the proposed new geostationary amateur satellite. The ESA and AMSAT DL initiative is a direct response to increasing global interest in amateur satellites communications and aims to inspire new generations through access to space-based amateur radio platforms. Okay, this is Club News, which I'm sure that we've already discussed with Keith, but let's discuss it quickly. The Sandton Amateur Radio Club apologizes that there will be no Power Tech Talk on the 24th of September. The coordinators are currently involved in the annual general meeting, but look forward to the next Power Tech Talk on the 29th of October. The Sandton Amateur Radio would like to thank everyone who participated in one way or another in the Israel National Field Day last weekend. This is what amateur radio is all about, the camaraderie how we were doing, or just to say hello to the team during the quiet calling times on Sunday morning. For all those who were unable to attend, mark the 2026 Field Day weekend in your diary. They are really fun. You will be able to make contact again on the band's 2026 National Field Day in March with the coveted ZS6STN call sign. Okay, quick propagation report. Hannes Garcia, ZS6BZP, reports that the solar activity is expected to be low levels during the week. There are currently 5 sunspot regions with simple magnetic configurations visible. There is a highly probable for C-class and low probability for M-class solar flares. If you want to do your own frequency predictions, the expected effective sun numbers for the week are around 69. The 30 to 10 meter bands may provide some DX fun. Please visit the website spaceweather.sensor.org.za for further information. Okay, finally a diary of some coming up events. Today there's ZS Spring Weekend. 16th September, the start of the SL6 meter challenge. 22nd of September, the Spring Equinox. 22nd to 24th September, Rosh Hashanah. 24th September, National Bride Day with Sandton Power Tech Talk. 28th September, the CQWW Worldwide RTTY Contest. 28th September, the ZS1 Cheers Party. Okay, that concludes the main bulletin, bulletin this morning. And so what we're going to do now is just give me 1 second. I'm just looking for some information and on a special topic this morning, and then we'll move to call-ins and everything after that. Just stand by. Okay, we're back again. So here we go. Okay, so just a very, very short article. It's quite a long, but I've just made it quite short. But with all these telescopes and the pickup balloons and everything like that, at the end of the day, it's flying around. I thought we might do something just a little bit towards that way anyway. And with all the spaceships and space stations out there and modules that are out there, so let's have a look and see. So the article is where we might find aliens in the next decade. Okay, forget UFOs and alien abductions. Here's how scientists are really looking for life on other worlds. To be more exact, there are multiple hunts for alien life currently underway on Mars rover. On Mars, a rover is collecting samples that may determine if life ever existed on the red planet. Probes orbiting some of our solar system's icy moons to search for signs of habitability. Astronomers are also beginning to scour the atmosphere of planets beyond our own solar system for telltale elementary cocktails that hint at alien life. And yes, we are even keeping a beady eye for signals from any intelligent civilizations that may purposely or accidentally make contact. In our solar system, Mars is arguably the most popular designation to hunt for life at present. We know the planet was likely wet and potentially habitable billions of years ago, with seas and lakes on the surface. More recently, scientists even found tantalizing clues that there may be liquid water on Mars still hidden beneath the planet's southern ice cap. NASA's Perseverance rover has been scooping up samples from a dried-up lake in a region called Jezero Crater, just north of the Okay, yeah, that brings me to the end of that. It was just a little bit interesting to see that all of these things are, what they're trying to do and all the life and everything else at the end of the day. And, very interesting for me, so to see what else is out there. But with also all the ongoing with all our picker balloons, I think South Africa's taken up the storm worldwide about the picker balloons. I was looking at some articles, reading some stuff, and well done to the Sandton Club, the George Club, and of course the Secunda Club who started the whole everything like that. So the picker balloons, it's really fantastic. I'd just like to thank everyone out there listening this morning. We trust you've enjoyed the bulletin today. Please feel free to give comments or any constructive criticism. Thank you to the stations that assisted with the relays. That's yours for yours truly. And thanks to all of those who've come in and given some information and club news, etc., etc. So all of those guys that have come in really appreciate it this morning. Makes it well worthwhile. It's been quite long, 45 minutes this morning, so it's been quite a long bulletin this morning. But anyway, join us again next Sunday at 8:45